Voters are going to the polls and casting votes in a presidential primary. But it's not just to talk about how you're going to vote or how others are voting or who might win. You can actually trade on it. The presidential futures market is just as hot as the election itself. We've got the latest from Intrade. It's the prediction market where investors can buy futures on which candidate will be victorious in primary elections. And gosh, you could trade on elections around the world and weather and all sorts of things. We're talking about the U.S. presidential election today. Intrade CEO John Delaney is with us, along with, as promised, our chief Washington correspondent, John Harwood. All right, Mr. Delaney, let's begin with you, though. I mean, it's been pretty amazing when you just think about the momentum plays here. What have you seen over, say, the past week in terms of who people are picking as the eventual candidate?
Hi, Erin. Well, it has been a fantastic period. We call it the Obama Renaissance. Barack Obama is just having this incredible period when all of the momentum has moved from Hillary Clinton to him. And right now, he looks to have a 96% probability of winning in New Hampshire. And when we look forward to some of the other caucuses, he's very, very highly probable to win in Nevada and South Carolina, and with only a small grain of uncertainty as to whether he will win in Florida. And we think Florida is key.
John Harwood, it's amazing. You can talk about the huge shift of, 2 weeks ago everyone said Hillary Clinton was the inevitable candidate. Now it appears to be Barack Obama is the inevitable candidate. Could it switch back again?
It could. Look, this is what happened in 2000 when John McCain shellacked George W. Bush in the New Hampshire primary, and then George Bush came back in other battlefields, South Carolina and states beyond, and he ground down John McCain by going to Republican regulars who didn't entirely trust John McCain and winning there. Barack Obama's doing so well, surging among independent voters, but there are other states where core Democrats are voting where Hillary Clinton might fare better. She's stronger among Democrats than among independents. The problem for Hillary Clinton, though, Erin, is that a lot of those regular Democrats are African-American voters in the South, and those are voters who are flowing to the African-American candidate now that he looks like he has a viable chance of winning the presidency.
John Delaney, you can trade the individual primaries, you can trade the eventual nominee, you can trade the eventual president, but you can also trade vice presidential candidates. Are you seeing any activity there yet?
Those markets, Erin, aren't nearly as actively traded right now as the nomination markets and presidential markets. So there is a certain amount of activity, but not nearly as much as we say. Obama, just following up on John Harwood, looks very certain right now to get the nomination. He has a probability of 75%, which is quite high. But, what we're seeing is with an 80% probability in Carolina, 90% probability to win in Nevada, and uncertainty around Florida, the next opportunity for, I suppose, a check to the Obama train happens in Florida, according to our markets.
It's amazing.
John, I've got a question for you. Look, the tea leaves are a little bit easier to read on the Democratic side because Barack Obama is so smoking hot right now. What are you seeing on the Republican side where it looks like John McCain has got a narrow edge over Mitt Romney, but we don't really know what's going to happen when we then move to Michigan, South Carolina, and the February 5th states?
Yes, indeed. The Republican competition is far more open right now. You mentioned that McCain has a lead. McCain has had such volatility. Back in November of 2006, he was trading at 55, down as far as 3% in July of this year. And now he has a reasonable margin over actually Rudy Giuliani to get the nomination. John McCain is trading at 34, and Rudy Giuliani is trading in the low 20s. Mitt Romney is actually lower.
And I apologize for that. John Harwood, give the last word to you. That was John Delaney. We just lost that line. We knew it would happen. We were cutting it close. Bottom line, any takeaway for you?
No, I think that his assessment reflects the uncertainty and the fluidity of the Republican race. I'm surprised at how high Rudy Giuliani is trading, actually, because he's going to have a tough time getting his campaign jump-started in Florida. But we have got a great story to follow, Erin, and all those traders are going to find out very soon whether they make money or lose it.
John Harwood, thank you. And, of course, John Delaney. I know he can't hear us, but we appreciate his being with us as well.